Hey everyone. So a couple days ago, maybe like a week ago, I went on my Instagram stories and I asked a few questions about things that everybody wanted to hear more about. And one of the things you guys wanted to hear more about was how to gain confidence, build confidence, just talking more about confidence. I think talking about confidence is a super important thing because I think it's a journey that we all have to go through. And I know that if you're somebody like me, took me a really long time to gain confidence and become the confident woman that I am today. It's certainly not perfect, and I certainly think that a journey to gaining confidence is kind of a lifelong thing. It can kind of feel like something that's a battle. It's never perfect and it's never finished. But today I want to talk about 3 different ways that we can stay confident when someone basically tells us that we suck. This could be any sort of situation in our lives. It could be, at work. It could be one of our friends. It could be a stranger. It could be a family member. But basically somebody just disses you, tells you that whatever you're wearing looks terrible, your new haircut looks terrible, you are bad at whatever you're doing, whether that's your job or your hobby or any of those things. Somebody essentially tells you that you suck. And it can be really easy to take other people's opinions as truth. And it's a common thought that other people's opinions of us really matter. And I am here to tell you that I don't agree with that. So I want to give you 3 ways today to stay confident even when you're not feeling it because somebody else has dissed you. So it's not always as easy to just ignore it and walk away. That's like I think that's kind of like the common advice on something like this is like, oh, somebody disses you, their opinion of you doesn't really matter, so just ignore it and walk away. But it's really hard to kind of like stay confident, even if that's the physical route that you take, is to just ignore their comment and to leave the space, which is totally fine. It can still be hard to not let that affect you personally. And other people's negativity can often cause us to doubt ourselves, doubt what we know to be true, doubt a feeling of confidence that we've been trying to build for either a short period of time or an extended period of time. So one of the ways that you can continue to grow your confidence and continue to stay confident is just, number 1, just don't take it personally. The things that other people say to us are usually a reflection of themselves rather than a reflection of us. So negativity is much more about the giver than it is about the receiver, and people who lack confidence and feel bad about themselves often project that onto other people. So this is one of the things that Don Miguel Ruiz talks about in the 4 agreements. I think it's actually the very first agreement, is don't take anything personally. This was one of the lessons that completely changed my life. And I mean, it applies to so many things, but it particularly applies to someone being negative towards you, somebody, saying something bad about you, and not taking it personally, because it's really not about you. It's about them and their own mental state, their own dissatisfaction, as it were, with themselves. So it was something that really changed my perspective on life and really changed the way that I view myself and my relationship with other people, because their perception of the world is always going to be different than mine. And the lens that I view the world through is completely different from anybody else's, and vice versa. Anybody else's is completely different than mine. So if you just try, it's not always easy to implement, but the way that I started to implement in my life was literally just reminding myself, don't take that personally. Don't take that personally. Somebody says something, don't take that personally. Somebody is, frustrated at work, don't take that personally. It's actually not about me. It's actually kind of selfish to think that anything that anybody else is doing or saying is about me, but we like to think that things are about us. We like to think that the universe revolves around us. But honestly, I think that can be pretty harmful, because if we're taking everybody's word as truth for us, it's really not always the best thing, especially when the things that other people are saying are negative towards us. So the first thing is to just try not to take it personally. And the most actionable way that you can try not to take things personally is to literally just remind yourself. Just like I said, just try to remind yourself, don't take it personally, don't take it personally, don't take it personally. And do that in every situation that it comes up that you feel like whatever somebody is saying or doing is really affecting you. So way number 2 to try and stay confident is to realize that you are in charge of your own reaction. So when somebody else says or does something that hurts us, hurts our feelings, whatever, we have a responsibility to our own reaction to that, whether that's our physical reaction, mental reaction, emotional reaction. We are the ones who get to decide the things that affect us and the things that don't affect us. So basically, when somebody says something that's really hurtful, you can kind of take a step back and say, how do I want to react to this? How do I want this to make me feel? And if it's something that already makes you feel bad and you don't want to feel that way, kind of like question that process of why it makes you feel that way. And maybe it comes back to the part of you're taking this thing too personally and it's really not about you. It could be that. Or it can just be that you're trying to like play a victim card and you're trying to find things to make yourself feel bad. Whatever the thing is, we are in charge of our own reactions, whether that's things that happen to us on purpose, on accident, whatever the thing is, we are the ones who are responsible for how we react to other people and situations. And realizing that can help us gain confidence because we can realize that even if a situation or a comment or whatever, an insult that comes upon us makes us feel terrible, we have the power to change that around, and we can flip it around however we want to try and put it into a positive light for us, whether it means that maybe the thing that person is saying is true and we can just learn from it and grow from it. Or, like I said, maybe we're just being kind of sensitive in that moment, which is totally fine to be a sensitive person. But maybe we're being kind of sensitive what that person's saying in that moment and taking it a little too literally or a little too personally, and our reaction is just poor. Lots of times it happens that people say things in a way that's kind of miscommunicated to us, and they're like, oh no, I didn't mean it in that way. Whatever, sometimes there are miscommunications that way, and we can really overreact in those situations. And just remembering that you have not only the ability to control your reaction, but you have a responsibility to control your reaction as well. And it's your responsibility to do the things and say the things that are going to make you the happiest and the proudest of yourself. So, number 1, don't take things personally. Number 2, you are in charge of you and your reactions. Number 3 is to remind yourself how freaking awesome you are. So I think one thing that we tend to do, like I said earlier, is we tend to take other people's comments, opinions, whatever, as truth in our lives, as things that, cannot be unspoken. And really, the things that other people say don't have to affect us. They don't have to take us. We don't have to take them personally. And if somebody is dissing us, and if somebody is insulting us, we can just take a moment to remind ourselves, like, I'm awesome. And one of the reasons why you're awesome is you're taking time. Excuse me. Is that you're taking time to better yourself. And you're taking time to remember these things. You're taking time to try and shift your mindset. And that is one way that you're awesome. There's so many other ways that you're awesome, but if you can't find any other ways to be awesome in that moment, it's just being mindful is being awesome. Because there's so many people that go through their lives taking everything personally, taking everything negatively, not being in charge of their reactions, being very reactionary to other people, and just being in the mindset of, I'm in control of me, I'm in control of my reaction, I have a responsibility to myself. Those types of things are things that are making you awesome. So taking time to remind yourself you're an awesome person, part of the reason you're awesome is that you're bettering yourself. And you're trying to be a better person, you're trying to better yourself, change your mindset, and stop being a sad person, stop being a miserable person, stop being all these things that lacking confidence gives you. So remembering that you're on this path to confidence, that it's a very bumpy road. It's definitely not a linear process. And just remembering that you don't want to continue to be the same person that you're being, that you don't want to continue to be the sad, miserable, mad, whatever, self-conscious, confident lacking person that you've been in the past, and you are consciously making an effort to better yourself and be a better person. So those are my 3 things for how to stay confident when somebody is insulting you. Number 1 is don't take it personally. What other people are doing is about them and not about you. Number 2 is being in charge of your own reaction. When somebody insults you or says something bad about you, you have a responsibility to yourself to react in a responsible and positive way rather than being negative and taking things negatively. And number 3 is remind yourself that you're awesome, because you are awesome, by the way. And remembering that you are on a path that is leading you to be a different person and have a completely different mindset. And that in and of itself is a huge win. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I hope you can take these things into your life in the upcoming week and implement them when you are lacking confidence because somebody else is being mean to you. Just remember, it's not about you, it's about them. That old time old breakup nonsense. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you soon.